during the financial crisis, for many reasons, there was less interest to Islamic finance in Europe and around the world. But we feel a pickup now because I would say that the principles that lie on the basis of Islamic finance have become widely recognized. So also in finance that is not specifically Islamic. So, for example, the respect and the sharing of values between the different partners in the relationship is being looked at now more thoroughly, also in classical finance, and therefore I think Islamic finance is growing.
I've worked in this industry for 30 years, and I'm an intermediary. We're a provider to conventional institutions who are active in the Islamic financial services space, and also to Islamic institutions. And the comment that you alluded to this morning, I think, was a comment that should there be more of an ethical awareness of this industry, and certain Islamic banks actually aren't using the brand Islamic. As far as I'm concerned, Islamic banking, Islamic financial services has a proud heritage, and although there's some concerns about how best to grow critical mass, I think the one thing that's important in financial services globally at the moment is transparency and being clear about what it is. And Islamic banking has a defined approach to it. So I'm balanced in my opinion, and I think it's entirely at the discretion of the sponsors of the institutions and the product.
I happened to start, to get some exposure to Islamic banking the first year, as a first-year associate back in 98, 99. So around that time, things were starting to pick up. Now, you've had the industry in the 70s and 80s with few pioneers, few institutions, few family offices. Malaysia was picking up, but I would say the 90s when it took off, and since the late 90s it's been growing massively. People say the size of the industry is $2 trillion assets under management. I question that, and if it is true, maybe the impact of the $2 trillion is not felt because much of it is kept in bank accounts that are not earning much.
What's $2 trillion?
That's the size of the Islamic banking industry. It's a sizable business, but we don't feel it. Probably there's 300 or 400 billion in circulation through bond offerings, through complex products. The rest is sitting somewhere, earning minimum profit margins. So there is room to grow the industry still within what we have.
The main issue is for the for the authorities to adapt the tax legislation within the country. So to my point of view, this is the main issue, and it needs a lot of lobby, a lot of discussion in order to change or to adapt these legislations.
What trends do you see occurring?
The trend is quite positive. There is a lot of work, and those events such as IFN event or activities within ISFIN helps to get the things more convenient for Islamic investment.
Some people are cynical and say that all that you're doing is with Islamic is crossing out the word interest and putting in profit. But that's not really the case. Of course, at the end of the day, you are coming up with similar products because humans have certain things they need. They need a bank account, they need a savings account, they need a mortgage, they need loans to create businesses. So the needs remain the same. So you are going to be trying to meet those with products that fulfill that need. But you have to do it in a Sharia-compliant way. It does involve restructuring, but one should never question the honesty or the integrity of the people trying to do it. They are trying to meet those needs in a way that meets their religious beliefs.
There is a lot of things has to be done in order to attract more and more Islamic finance. A lot of efforts from the market players, from the service providers, from the governments, from the investors as well. So we as Islamic financial practitioners, we should increase the awareness of the people in the market. If we're talking about players, banks, financial institutions, insurance companies, if we're talking about service providers, consultants, tax advisors, lawyers, if we're talking about the regulators from the governments, what should be done in order to develop and to get benefit of the principle of Islamic finance?